Hey everyone, it's Gamefruitpulp and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today we're going to be looking at 5 improvements that I think Minecraft should look at to improve the game. Most of these improvements can be applied to both the Java and Bedrock versions, other than one which is actually a feature within Bedrock that I feel will vastly improve the playability of Minecraft Java as well. Some of these recommendations are large-scale game additions, whereas others are back-end changes that could lead to a much improved quality of life for those who love and play Minecraft. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. The first improvement that we're going to talk about is somewhat related to something that I've been advocating for on my channel for a long time and finally received with the 1.18 update. For those who have been following the channel for a few years, you would know that I'm referring to increasing in the build height limit. This was a welcome change, and although they didn't increase it by as much as I had hoped for, the addition of data packs has allowed creators like the Building Toronto team to extend the build height more than the allotted 320 blocks positive and the negative 64 blocks. The next improvement that's desperately needed in Minecraft related to this change is overall optimizations in both visual and performance aspects of the game. While there are a huge number of things that can be done in this regard to help improve the game, I'm going to touch upon only a couple that I think should be focused on by Minecraft going forward. The first of the 2 improvements that I'm going to talk about is the general performance of the game and how it can be improved to allow for a more enjoyable player experience. When going into detail about how to do this specifically, we're going to touch on one of the overarching themes of this video, which is using the strong and vibrant modding community in Minecraft to improve the vanilla version of the game. When looking at the Building Toronto world, without performance mods like sodium, lithium, phosphorus, and others, the map is borderline unplayable due to the low frame rate. This is a huge problem for players of Minecraft and should be seen as a problem by the creators of the game as well. As Minecraft constantly grows and develops, the extravagance and vast scale of Minecraft projects have grown as well. This concept is one of the things that has kept the game popular for so many years, but it has also become a limiting factor for new players of the game, or those who cannot afford a strong gaming computer. Minecraft as a base game should not require a player to download third-party performance modifications in order to enjoy a seamless, lag-free experience when building, viewing, or exploring projects made in the game. While an update like this may not be as glamorous as some of the other items that I propose in this video, it definitely would be welcomed by a large amount of the player base. The second improvement that I think should be grouped in with this proposal is the laughably small render distance that is currently in Minecraft. This ties directly into the other improvement that I propose and is ultimately linked heavily with it because of the performance issues that Minecraft suffers from. With the base version of Minecraft, the maximum render distance is 32 chunks, and while this is not insignificant, it also would fail to capture the vastness of many large-scale maps, which results in creators having to use third-party applications like Blender to showcase their city building maps. Minecraft should want to keep players within their game for as much time as possible, whether that be to create content or just to play. And the reliance on creators to look elsewhere to create the captivating content that helps keep Minecraft popular should concern the game developers and inspire them to make this change. Once again, we can look to the mod community for inspiration in this regard, as mods exist to address this issue. Just as an example, I use the Farsight mod to view more of the Minecraft Building Toronto map in the game, which allows a maximum render distance of 64 chunks, and the difference between what the vanilla version offers and what Farsight can offer is immense. Sticking to the technical changes that will dramatically improve the game, we have one that has been long advocated for by our channel editor Starbound. This is the importing of the custom model engine from the Bedrock version of the game. Now I could try and explain this one myself, but it would probably sound like a bunch of gobbledygook from me, so I figured it would be better to have our local expert Star explain it to us.
The custom model engine is a system that Bedrock edition of Minecraft has that makes it really easy for players to add their own custom creatures into the game. All you really have to do is you create a 3D model using Blockbench, which is this modeling software literally made by Mojang Dev. Then you select the mob's AI from the ones that are already in the game, and then you go back in-game and you click the import model button. It's like 2.5 steps. But if we wanted to get the same creature into Java Edition, it's a much different story right now. You can make the model in Blockbench like before, but that's where the official support ends. You need to fully rig the mob by yourself, which is like where you tell what pieces make up its arms and which are its legs. And you then need to install 2 plugins onto a server, because you can't do this in single player at all. And you stick your 3D model into the model engine plugin, which is made by the community, not made by anyone at Mojang at all. And this puts the creature physically into the world using a bunch of armor stands that can move, and it gives you a texture pack that you need to use in order for the creature to look right. If you want the creature to have movement at all, you need to script its animations using the Mythic Mobs plugin. It takes 6 steps in Java, and neither of these plugins are the most user-friendly. If they adapted the Bedrock model system to Java, it'd make the whole process a whole bunch easier. You wouldn't need an artist, a programmer, in like a week. Instead, you just need the artist to make the 3D model and then like a day. And the result would be so much less janky too, because we wouldn't have to use armor stands for everything. We could pretty much be drowning in custom mobs.
As we progress in this video, you may notice that the changes that will become more and more extensive, and that is by design. I wanted to start the video with the changes that I thought would be easier for Minecraft to implement, and reward those who stick around in the video for some vast and crazy ideas that I think would make the game more interesting in my opinion. The next update that I think would make Minecraft better is something that has been slowly implemented, one update at a time, but in my opinion, would make for a fun and exciting entire update instead. In order to fully understand this improvement, we must go back into Minecraft history to the 1.6 update, or 2013, when the Minecraft horse was added to the game. This was significant because much of the inspiration for that mob was taken from the creator of a well-known Minecraft mod, Mo Creatures. Since that update, there have been a number of other mobs that have been added to the game that were previously in that mod first. Now, this is not to say that these mobs were copied or that the idea from them to be added came exclusively from Mo Creatures, but rather that an opportunity exists to dramatically accelerate mob development in Minecraft. The Mo Creatures mod has largely been left undeveloped for the last few years, with the last Java update for the mod being 1.12.2. But when we look at the mod, we can see a number of mobs that have since been added to vanilla Minecraft, and a number that could be easily added to the game without messing up the ambience or theme that Minecraft is trying to create. When it comes to adding new mobs, I feel as though the developers are very cautious to add anything that may negatively impact a player's experience in the game, specifically when it comes to the addition of new mobs. Looking at how the Phantom was received by the player base, I think that the developers are fairly hesitant to add new hostile mobs without extensive testing and balancing first, which is completely understandable. However, when we look at the same relatively slow rate in which passive mobs are added to the game, I don't understand that thought process as well. Looking at the Mo Creatures mod, we see that the following passive mobs that were featured in the mod, were later added to the vanilla version of the game. Horses, fireflies, which brings in a whole other conversation, goats, turtles, dolphins, pandas, rabbits, and foxes. Once again, this is not to say that Minecraft copied Mo Creatures, but instead that an opportunity exists to rapidly add new, balanced, beautiful, and creative mobs to the game. In 2019, Mo Creatures became an open source mod, meaning that anyone who is interested could take the mod files, edit them, and make them their own. While I understand why Minecraft may be hesitant to bring in neutral or hostile fantasy mobs without extensive market research, I feel as though there's an opportunity to take the passive mobs within this mod, optimize them to ensure that they're suitable for a large-scale release, and quickly turn around with an update that would bring over a dozen new real-world passive mobs that would improve the player experience with almost no downsides. These passive and neutral real-world mobs within Mo Creatures include moles, raccoons, crabs, elephants, and mammoths, Komodo dragons, snails, various ambient insects, turkeys, ostriches, snakes, manta rays, stingrays, jellyfish, crocodiles, mice, rats, deer, big cats, which include tigers, cheetahs, panthers, snow leopards, and white tigers, sharks, ducks, boars, and ambient birds. Imagine an update that added that many new creatures, many of which, like the crocodile, ostrich, and Komodo dragon, would be biome specific, while others like the rays and jellyfish would be added additions to the ocean. Many of these mobs already have beautiful, tested creature models, and in some cases have mob drops that would make sense and wouldn't require the addition of new items to the game. One of the things that I've always found with Minecraft survival is that the world lacks a diversity of animals, and as a result, it can quickly become somewhat stagnant to explore. The Caves and Cliffs update helped solve part of that problem with the dramatic improvement of terrain generation, and the Tales and Trails update helped give players more reason to explore with the addition of exploration-related tasks and wayfinding. But the mob side of it still drags behind. This proposed change would help fix that. The next proposed improvement to Minecraft is one that I think might be coming down the pipes already if I had to guess, but I think it's worth mentioning in case it's not. This is improving the end and making it more of a destination for players to stay, rather than just a place to go, gather resources, and then leave as soon as the task is done. Not to mention the issues with the Ender Dragon fight. The reason that I think this improvement may be in the works is because of a somewhat recent 1.16 Nether update, which saw the addition of many new biomes into the Nether. Prior to this release, the Nether was much like the End, a place to go, gather resources, and then leave as soon as possible. But after that update, the Nether saw the addition of new biomes that were visually appealing and gave more of a reason to stick around and set up a base. This is what I think the End needs as well. The foundations are already there to make the End a fun and exciting dimension to stay in, but I feel as though it was been somewhat neglected over the years. With the addition of End cities, the player was once again tasked with visiting the dimension to gather loot, but there is little to no benefit to staying there long term. It is my opinion that the most healthy version of Minecraft would have every dimension be useful for a player to set up a base in. Right now that can be seen with the Nether and the Overworld, but it is completely impractical for the End. In order to improve the End, I would like to see 4 main things added that I feel would make the dimension worth visiting, but more importantly, worth staying in. The first is the addition of End biomes. This would mean some sort of tree within the End that can be used to make tools and basic materials, but would also mean a place where the player could be able to settle and build a base, without looking like they are on the surface of the moon. Tied into this would be the addition of a food source, in the End other than finding loot in End cities. Although chorus fruit already exists, another source that doesn't throw you all over the map would be beneficial. The third addition I would make to the End is the addition of new mobs, which may help you detect theme with what I like in Minecraft. The End provides an awesome opportunity for the game developers to be creative and add whatever passive, neutral, and hostile mobs they think can fit the lore of this dimension. With that in mind, players would also have to have the challenge of trying to transport these mobs back to the overworld to bring to their homes and bases there. The final addition may be somewhat controversial, but will prepare you for what the last improvement I think Minecraft should make is, and that is the addition of some sort of village/villager structures in the End. While I understand why there are no towns in the Nether, I think that the addition of some sort of End villages occupied by villagers, or a modification of them, would give the player more of a reason to visit the End, and would make that dimension better as a whole. The final improvement that I would make to Minecraft is definitely the most controversial of the group, and I'm interested to see what those of you sticking around in the video will think about it. This change once again calls on the inspiration from the modded Minecraft community, and would be a complete reimagining of the villager system and what comes with it. This improvement is one that I could almost see being a full-scale Minecraft update. Think the villager expansion update, or something more clever than that. But I don't know if it would be received as positively by everybody as some of the other things I've proposed. The village expansion would draw on inspiration on mods such as Millionaire and Mine Colonies to make a village much more interactive experience than simply trading. While trading would still be part of the interactions, village tasks would go much deeper than that, should the player wish to participate in them. Villages would be largely self-sufficient entities that could grow, build, and expand with or without the help of the player. Villages, through their villagers, would be able to collect resources such as stone and wood to build new buildings within the town, or expand and improve the ones that are already there. The player would interact with these villagers to provide them with rare resources that they could not collect on their own, which would allow them to make specific improvements, or can provide them with basic resources to help speed up construction in the village. These improvements could then offer unique rewards back to the player that they would not otherwise have been able to get. Additionally, the player would be required to build trust within each village in order to unlock new trades similar to what is already in place. These relationships could be specific to the type of village that the player is in, and could help better equip and defend the village from raids. The ideas related to this are really endless, but it is just about how far the Minecraft developers want to take them. Ultimately, this could provide players with an entirely different way to play Minecraft, depending on how far this update was taken. That's going to be it for this video. Obviously, I gave a bunch of different ideas and thoughts on how to improve the game from many different outlooks, so I'd love any feedback from you guys about what you thought about them in the comments of the video. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you're a returning viewer and you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and share the channel with your friends. This is a bit of a different video than I usually do on my channel, so if you enjoyed it, be sure to let me know, and I'll do more of them in the future. If you're looking for more ways to support the channel, be sure to check the description of the video for my Linktree page where you can find all my other social media accounts. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. My name is Gamefruitpulp, and I will catch you guys all next time. Have a good one.